at Tisha, T-I-S-H-I-A, at WOCA.com. Working together, we can come up with a marketing plan that works.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first Wednesday of each month at 9:30 to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you. Started in 1975, it's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named, the man, the myth, the only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. I am your host, Tom Schmitz. It is Monday, January 25th, 2021. Boy, this month has flown by. Only 6 days left in the month of January. Hey, I want to tell you a story that started for Paul Russo in 2015. Who's Paul Russo? Well, he's a volunteer for the Florida State Parks Foundation. He was at Paynes Prairie on this day in 2015 that I'm speaking of. He was near Gainesville. He was setting up a table for a public event there. He's got a powered scooter, you know, one of those scooters you always see, and it's because of childhood polio. He was there to talk about how the state park trails and paddling was available for people with disabilities. I mean, he's in a scooter because his walking is troubled because of polio, childhood polio. This lady come rolling up to him. She was in a manual wheelchair. She didn't have a scooter. She was in one of those manual, you know, where you got to work the wheels with the gloves and everything. Comes over to him. She's got children with her, about 5, 12-year-old group of them. She told him how nice it was that you know, Paynes Prairie was accessible. But she said, I took the kids over to Silver Springs and ride the glass bottom boats, and they could all get on the boats, but I couldn't in my wheelchair. He goes, well, I'm sorry about that. She goes, yeah, it wasn't accessible. Well, you work for the state parks with disability, with touting that there's trails and paddling for people with disabilities. What are you going to do about the glass bottom boats? Now, this wasn't Paul Russo's job. Paula Russo, Paula Russo, not Paul. Paula Russo. It wasn't her job to work figuring out how to make the glass bottom boats accessible to this lady in a wheelchair, but she took it up as her calling. Now, 6 years later, emerging from the hard work and dedication Paula Russo has put together to try to make this a reality, there's now going to be a glass bottom boat for wheelchairs. So what started off as a conversation at Paynes Prairie between a lady on a scooter and a lady in a wheelchair about how the lady in the wheelchair was not able to enjoy the glass bottom boats with her family because it wasn't accessible for her wheelchair. Well, now 6 years later, the first boat that is wheelchair accessible, it's going to be 37-foot hull, rectangular openings with nearly inch-thick panes of Coast Guard-approved strength, will be inserted for a window of crystalline clarity 4 feet wide, 16 foot long. Yet to be launched, the glass bottom boat already is endowed with expectations for a vessel built in Florida by Floridians and meant to be what the state's about. And that's tourism. And now it helps people with disabilities to be able to enjoy glass bottom boats. So see, that's just a example of somebody that put their mind to it. Paula Russo, she's just a volunteer for the Florida State Parks Foundation. She was setting up a table at Paynes Prairie doing an event that was touting how state park trails and paddling for people with disability was available. The lady rolled up to her and said, yeah, but I can't ride the glass bottom boats at Silver Springs. Paula, what are you going to do about it? There was a city councilman once, he's no longer a city councilman, Daniel Owen, who when a group of people got together, Buddy Barton, Gerald Ergel, Angie Lewis, Kent Gwynn, they all got together to save the Marion Theater. And they went to a city council meeting to try to stop the council who had voted 4-1 to close the Marion because the city owns it. They talked them into voting again to keep it open. And Daniel Owen looked at them after they had voted to keep it open. Daniel Owen looked at that group and says, now what are you going to do about it? How are you going to make sure this theater stays open? Get engaged. And this group did, and the Marion Theater, as you know, is still open. Now it's run by the Riley organization, but still, the Marion Theater is a vibrant, historic piece of a great downtown area here in Ocala. That's a group of people who saw a problem and got together and figured out how to fix it. Well, Paula Russo in 2015 was presented with the exact same type of problem. And the lady in the wheelchair said, what are you going to do about it? Well, Paula said, I got to do something. She said, I'd beat my head until I could get to where I'm going or I'm bleeding. She's an unyielding advocate for parks and people with disabilities. So she took this as her mission, and lo and behold, 6 years later, there's now going to be a glass bottom boat for people with disabilities at Silver Springs. I think that's great, but I think it also shows that if you get your message in front of the right person, answers can be gathered. And kudos to Paula Russo for doggedly championing the rights of people with disabilities and the rights of people with disabilities to have access to places that they didn't have access before. My very good friend Hunter Turner, as you know, was on this radio program for us for a long time. Has worked with me covering golf events and football events at the University of Florida, covering those. He worked at this radio station for 5 years. He's a young man. I say young man, he's 30 now. He's in a wheelchair, cerebral palsy and wheelchair bound. Does not slow him down a bit. Now he can ride the glass bottom boats and see Silver Springs. I think it's a fantastic move by Silver Springs and the state park systems to finally have access for people in wheelchairs and people on scooters and people that didn't have access before to the glass bottom boat experience. Because if you catch it at the right time and the springs are clear and the fish are there and the manatees are in the spring, sometimes that glass bottom boat, that experience cannot be beat. And now the park system is going to offer a glass bottom boat for people with disabilities so they can easily get their wheelchairs on and off the boat. I think that's a great, great thing. I can't believe it took till 2021 for that to happen. But don't focus on the negatives. Just be glad that it has actually happened now, and that boat will go into service very, very soon. We're going to take a break. When we come back, unemployment rate. The numbers are out. Laura Burns touched on it last week with Career Source. The numbers are out now. I'll tell you where the numbers are in Marion County for unemployment. We'll do that next. This is 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck.
What you need is